In a fight, especially against an aggressive guy, a tough guy like Ruiz, take your time, get yourself in a rhythm.
Listen, Ruiz has a lot of experience. He's been 10 rounds more than does have some sneaky punches over the top. So Flores is going to have, he's going to stay.
Ruiz's two losses. The oddity when you look at his record, had 3 draws and a 4.
Ruiz is starting to drop the jab down to the body. That just means that he's...
Flores was able to win.
What I loved about that sequence was when he spent out, he didn't just he got active with his hands. Beautiful work by Flores.
Indeed.
You know, he's trying to be a small man in there. You know, he is a short guy like that. There's a big shot over the top he's been looking for.
With Gabe Flores Jr. A lot. 187K to win $4,000.
To win $4,000? I don't know if I like that bet at all.
And this week, and we did have an upset on Tuesday night. I mean, the main event had an upset too. Sportsbook was watching Mike Plenty of Money come in all afternoon, and he was about this is a massive dog in Ruiz. But as reopen and you're able to get better matchmaking, you're going to see a lot of tight $7,000 on Flores.
Yeah, and occasionally switching up the rhythm on it, feinting. Nice uppercut right there from Flores.
As Ruiz came forward.
Yeah, a lot of times for a veteran fighter, it takes him 3 or 4 rounds to kind of, and that's what Ruiz is doing right now.
Oh, the left hook! Left hook scores!
5, 6, 7, 8. Venga para acá.
Finish him in spectacular fashion. Just.
Oh, great instruction from his father telling him to go down to the...
Flores is looking very... He's still got time to get this knockout with 35 seconds left in this round.
Ruiz trying to steady himself, leaning forward.
I ain't gonna lie, gentlemen, this is the sharpest that I've...
Moved to Vegas, concentrating on nothing but...
When a knockdown came from Flores chin, you see Ruiz do a funny dance, and down he went. It was like there. Ruiz never really saw it coming.
Stop,
that had a lot of strong, not anywhere, you know, before tonight.
Took and then just followed him with
Come on,
the right
hamstring,
hand
vamos,
to seal it. Timmy, power punches right now. Flores has landed.
Oh yeah, it's easy pickings for him. You got a guy that's just dancing and make him run him into shots, and that's exactly what he's doing. The reason why he looks so good is the transition to sparring in Las Vegas, and that's how you get better.
Was up the left hook, went to the body, tried to come upstairs with it.
Mentality about his son. You see, when we read the bios, but we're still working on all the aspects of his game, outside, mid-range, where they know they got to keep working, and when you keep working, you start putting on performances like this.
Otto Fernandez is saying, look, we can't just go one punch at a time. He's a fighter. We've got to match his rhythm, and for him, his best defense.
Ruiz is charged with more consistent.
Reagan, he can cause you some trouble. Flores is doing the right thing tonight. He's not even allowed.
With the young generation between 126 pounds and 100.
You know, when it comes to focused on him, the better he gets. There was that night a couple years ago in Stockton with that nose. Josec Ruiz has never been down until right there.
And then he chased him with a right hand, but the left hook was so impressive, and they're looking up. Try to come in with.
Inside though, put that left hand on the inside, pick it up.
You know, as soon as Ruiz get in front of him, what does he do? Occasionally trying to use the check hook to catch. Miss because Flores rode with that punch. That's a veteran move.
And they're finished with the left.
One thing I had to learn, Tess, when I started going more rounds and I'm facing veterans, of course of a fight, you start having your way through 4, 5, 6 rounds, and you can easily go to line you up for one shot. So that's where Flores is right now. He's got to learn to stay focused, stay...
You know, Dre, what I find interesting about that comment is when you're dealing with young, what is somebody? You give a scouting report. This guy's fast. This guy's strong. That you want to have. And it is critical in this game.
Yes. And that's something as a coach you got to work on with your fighter in the gym. Focus, you got to stay on him. Stay locked in, stay focused. That way when you tell him that...
Well, let me just make this list. How do you fall asleep when you're driving? There's a lot more stuff going on when you're driving.
Needed to be better. Timmy, it's because Ruiz was able to land that right
hand. And this is the only time Ruiz will have success if Flores allows out. Ruiz said, no, you're not. Take this overhand right.
The undefeated 20-year-old Gabe Flores, high school.
Load it. 3, boy, 2, 3. There it is, boy.
Work with the jab.
He's gonna come around with that hook. Keep that right hand out.
Because they see some skill or they see some ability, I just kind of sit back and I chuckle before Waters. And I like the pace that Top Rank is taking Gabe Flores right now.
I mean, matchmaking becomes critical with that.
And Top Rank is the De La Hoya and Floyd Mayweather early in their careers.
Often, you know, those guys, Bruce, you know, those guys have the keen eyes for matchups. They know fights.
Brad Goodman, Aram, and Todd DeBuff, the Top Rank group. Taking the wrath is critical when you have this kind of talent. Not just the talent in his hometown, very likable, he's got a great backstory.
Gabe Flores also has James Prince, the manager. They've worked with Floyd. They're experienced guys, so their expertise is going to shine because they're going to put them in the right position.
Yeah, I mean, he's got every resource. And 3 to 24 as we start round number 6 of our main event. Andre Ward sees round in the second round with the left hook right hand that scored the knockdown. Into the corner of Gabe Flores, father and son. What do you have for us, Bernie?
Look, I need him to double up the jab and then follow up. And he needs to wear down.
He's only landing 15% of his out of you. You always like guys.
Yeah, you have to break these guys down physically. You got to take something from them.
Push it back. Hold that ground. There you go. Hold on.
It was an uppercut.
His father won
that time.
His father
Underneath.
a high guard and put the pressure on Ruiz. He wants him to knock him.
Right there. Make it work right there.
Stop.
Just the speed, the sheer speed.
He got some steam in those punches.
Oh, yeah, he does have some steam in those punches. There it is. Instead of 1-2, he's trying to hit him with 3-4.
Flores still has to stay alert.
Ready, boy.
Gabe Flores scored the knockdown, had Ruiz hurt. A few moments of defensive lapse, the right hand in round 4 from Ruiz, landing 62 of 231 punches thrown.
Flores, in the first 6 rounds, he set the table, and now his dad, Flores Sr., is asking his smart, but it's time to try to get him out of there, put your punches together. Let's see if young Flores... I think he's just got to be in that wheelhouse. Get hit with some shots. There may be some shots there, whiz past. He's got to be willing to stay there. More energy than he should. It's just an attitude thing. Like when you hear Flores Sr., that's not a disrespectful thing. He's trying to call out the fighting spirit in this.
And in the kitchen sink up top, he needs to go down and test the body. That's what he's in breaking this boy down and getting him up out of there.
Timmy's landed 44 power punch.
Tim, you're taking my line. I'm normally the guy calling.
Well, I mean, it's obvious. Count them. Why don't you count them at home?
Yeah, no,
how many head shots and how many body shots?
Start leading and finishing.
Back to the gym and develop now. Going down to his opponent.
Take a shot.
Let's see if he
That
does
body
go
for
to
you.
body. Part of your professional career, Dre, right? Junior lightweight limit tonight, but a very promising prospect at work. in the coming weeks. Reports of Oscar Valdez coming up a title defense. We're going to see Miguel Burchelt. And you think about, you know, Diaz and Farmer and some of the rush. Gabe Flores Jr. No need at all.
No, there's levels, like Dre said. There's levels to this game. He's at a certain level. Get comfortable inside the kitchen. You was talking about eating. Inside the kitchen. That's inside the pocket, ladies and gentlemen.
Follow up.
As much as we talk about 6 and 135, when you think about Shakur and then at 135, TFT development that we see with Flores, and you realize guys in your young 20s, and you know, more and more reports coming out about Lopez and Lomachenko. Late summer, early fall, that is going to be thrilling.
Boy, tighten it up. Off the stick.
Have you count on you to let me know?
I don't want to give a number. I don't want to give a number, but it hasn't.
Double it, so expect going back to the jab here. And
Flores is hitting. Listen, Flores is hitting Ruiz or hurt his hands.
I'll tell you, it is great, but the audio that we get with the trainers is one run is marked to 18. Ruiz does not have the answer. It's in California.
Let's go.
Here. In the corner, and listen, listen in to Moro Jr. Fernandez in the corner of Ruiz.
Hey, you gotta catch some of that encounter. Stay tight, cat. Hey, boy, in between, tight.
All right, Timmy and Dre, give me your take on what you heard from.
He's telling him right, Joe. He's trying to get his son. Trainer does. He continues to ask for more from his fighter because he knows that, hey.
Timmy says, hit the gas, pick it up.
Hit the gas, pick it up. I like that. Inside the pocket. Until then, we'll see.
Where you see room for improvement for Gabe Flores Jr. here. He's going to be heading towards a unanimous decision win. Get into the inside and be a little more comfortable.
Exactly right. Exactly right, Tess. You know, great counterpuncher, but I haven't seen him sit still inside the pocket to catch him with the hard shot that you wouldn't see. You know, still got work to do in the gym before he can step up and face it.
Making that improvement, taking that next step forward. What Tim,
based on what we've heard his father say and what we've heard Flores Jr. say, they are until 6 months, 8 months, a year later. And it'll come when you need mindful of it that, hey, he needs to develop other aspects of his game. That's
go. Reminder, Emmanuel Navarrete will be in action Saturday night for a fanless atmosphere for fights that get going. Yeah.
When it's time to step it up and press the issue. Well, if you have an opponent interest, yes, he's still looking for a big shot, but he hasn't changed up his game. Ruiz was a guy who big shots were whizzing past Flores' chin. Everything's tight. Let's go home with a decision victory. That's not the case tonight, so I understand. Variation from Ruiz, the same thing, round in and round out.